Don't mind me. I'm just hanging out with my plants. Welcome to Haven's Handiworks. And welcome back to Haven's Handiworks. Today I am going to make a moss pole for my Cebu blue. It's getting a little long and leggy and scraggly, and if you've ever been on Instagram and looked at Steve's Leaves page, you would know that these epiprenum, when they climb up a pole, the leaves go from this skinny little green pothos type leaf to a more like fenestrated, gets fingers, and they're really beautiful. They just really love a pole and they get really big leaves. So I'm going to show you how I make mine. So, what you will need is some hardwood cloth or wire mesh, a bucket with some water, sphagnum, zip ties, and nips, and a dowel. This one is bamboo. So first thing you're going to do is hydrate your sphagnum. I get mine at Lowe's. They'll be over by Orchid Medium and peat moss, or not peat moss, perlite. Usually outside over by the houseplants. I probably won't use all of this. I hope not. But I might. You never know. If I don't, I may go ahead and use the rest for another video and show you how to make sphagnum planks for shinglers. I have a Rhapsophora that I actually would love to see shingle instead of grow loose like pothos do for hanging baskets, or how I got it. And just kind of work it around, make sure everything gets nice and saturated. I'm going to set that aside and just let it soak up all of that water. Alright, next you're going to take your wire and you're going to kind of manipulate it into a tube shape. And you want your wires to overlap two boxes, right? So like this box needs to overlap to this box, and this one to this one right here. And you just keep doing that all the way down. And you're going to take your zip ties. I have way more than I needed. That's probably closer to what I actually need. That out of the way. Okay, so what you're going to do is bend it once and bend it twice, and it'll kind of hook back on itself. You can even go one more if you want. And just kind of create that hook. And you're going to start on the bottom one. That one to that one to that one, right? And then through that one. Oh, come on. And that is in the wrong one entirely too. Okay. All right, and then you're not going to tighten it all the way down. You're just going to kind of connect everything. And do the same thing on this end, because you're going to leave that big old gap right here in intervals open so you can cinch it down after you filled it with sphagnum. Again, there, and just a single 1 or 2 clicks. Closed. There we go. That's an actual click. All right. You're going to keep going down. All right. Come down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. This really is the hardest part though, so once you get past this point, lining everything up, it gets much easier. I'm going to be kind of a chunky pole. I usually make them smaller than this. Again, so you create that hook. All right. Now, let's open it back up so that you can get the sphagnum down in there. So you got it all tethered together and lined up, right? So you take your sphagnum. You're just gonna ow, shove that down in there. Be very careful. Some of these little things are sharp, and they will cut you and stab you if you're not careful. So you squeeze out the excess moisture and stuff it in there. And sometimes this will come in handy. This isn't what I actually got it in here for, but it does work very nicely to kind of pack that in there without sticking your hands down in the wire too much, because it does hurt. Now, I prefer to make my own sphagnum poles just because it's inexpensive. The wire mesh is like $6 at Walmart, and the sphagnum is $6 at Lowe's. So it's really inexpensive. If you hear a lot of helicopters or airplanes, it's because I am right in the flight path for one of the Air Force bases. Ugh, messages. Okay. We're about halfway done now. Scoot that down. When you get down to the end, it's a little easier because you can kind of just come down through there, right up there. When it comes time to extend your pole, okay, what you do is you basically repeat the process. You just attach, you overlap the new wire cage around the top 4 or 5 inches and zip tie or wire those parts together, and then you stuff again and cinch as you go. Only instead of being able to lay it down flat like this, you would have to do it upright, still attached to the plant. So it's a little more precarious. That's good on that end. Oh yeah, this is definitely going to take the whole bag. Whichever end you do make the top, I suggest leaving a little divot in the top for adding moisture down the way or along the way, because you want your moss pole to stay kind of moist so the roots will grow into them on your epiphytes. Now, here comes the fun part. So you got all of that cinched in or pushed in, and now you get to cinch. Zip ties down. And they don't always like to operate. There we go. Oh, got that one. Okay. Scratched my stool a little bit. Oh. Not the end of the world. Okay, so you're gonna want to cut off all of these little zip tie bits and try to cut them off as flat as possible because they are very sharp when they are cut, especially at an angle. That is definitely the bottom. And this one right here, where I'm making this kind of well, see, you can see in the top, is where I'll put water as it dries out over time. Okay, so I do not stick the dowel in all of mine, and this one I'm not. I'm probably not going to do it anymore, actually, because on the outside it makes it so much easier to replace. Okay, so I'm going to take this dowel and I'm going to insert it in here. And then I'm going to take this. I'm going to set it on top of the soil. And then I'm going to use more zip ties all the way around to zip tie it in place. But it looks like I'm going to have to use two because they're a little short. Start at the top. It is a little floppier than I would like it to be. Get that in there a little better. All right. So with this upgrade, this is no longer going to be sitting on the shelf behind me. I'm going to move it to the floor, and that'll open up some space for like well, the Raphora to go over there. So now what I am going to do is I'm going to take some double-sided Velcro tape, and I'm going to start attaching my pothos to its new very wobbly pole. How can I fix that? Let's maybe push that up further. Dig some out. Pack that down some more. I'm probably gonna have to come in with another dowel and just secure it a little more, but as long as I don't go jostling it around, it'll be fine. Okay. Need at least that much for each one. The pot, this black pot that it's in, I got at Walmart at the beginning of this season. I think it was, oh, January. It was right after the beginning of the year. Right before we locked down. Let's find the longest one. Ooh. Come over yourself. Okay. I think this is worse than a necklace. Okay, so I think I'll just kind of drape it all the way around. Get those nodes in maximum contact. Oh geez. Okay, so yeah. Attach that, flip it over, soft velvety side down, and then just loosely attach that. And gonna do it again with this really long one, same direction. Get in each other's way. And again, velvety side down and nicely, loosely attached. And we have two more runners here, but they're short, so I'm gonna let them do their thing. That one's short. This one is long. This one isn't nearly as long as the last two, so let's give it a little running start. Pull two. Just making sure none of the leaves are being crushed by the Velcro like that. And aside from the, oh, I forgot to cut those off. Alright, so I'm gonna snip the zip tie ends. Alright, so that is how I make my moss poles. So I hope you liked today's video on how I make my moss poles, and I hope to see you guys again.